background, I have gone through roughly 3 different careers thus far since graduating from college. So I first began my more formal career working in fundraising and development in the nonprofit space. So helping nonprofits secure sustainable sources of income so they could better serve their communities and pay for their expenditures and operating costs. From there, I migrated into a recruiting role within the tech industry. So I was hiring for most pockets of Google, ranging from our digital advertising side of the business to our cloud technology unit, at times working with our hardware divisions, and eventually transferred into my current role as a global program manager, where I partner with senior leadership within the Google Cloud customer team, specifically our customer engineers, so our technical customer-facing folks, to make sure that they have the processes, assets, and programs they need to be successful. So while that kind of sounds like 3 different career paths and sounds like a lot of hopping around, in reality, what I noticed job over job is I really loved working on strategy. I really loved working on operational efficiency. And I really loved not just solving a problem for an immediate issue, but really thinking about the root causes and thinking about how I could empower a team or an organization to never experience that problem again and be set up for success. I think some of this stems from the fact that I am an abstract thinker and I enjoy being creative. And I also, care deeply about the teams that I work with. And a way that I can show my care is through kind of taking away the small stuff so folks don't have to sweat it, so they can continue applying their creativity to novel and ambiguous business problems.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your lovely experience with us. So great. So Anis, could you please tell us more about the role of a program manager?
Yeah. So what I think is really fascinating about program management is it's so diverse. And so while that can be very encouraging because there's a lot of different ways in which this role can express itself, it sometimes can make the career path feel a little inaccessible because it can feel almost too ambiguous to know even where to start. So I think, at its core, program management and program managers really flex some consistent skills. So that includes things like stakeholder management. So making sure that you're building the right relationships, that you're guiding your stakeholders through making key decisions, coming to conclusions and agreeing with one another so you can proceed forward. So you use a lot of facilitation skills and communication skills to make sure that's successful. Something else that you also do is you work on these big picture problems, but you have to keep the small details in mind. And the small details can range from ensuring that whatever you're creating is, keeping the user in mind and putting the user first. So whether that's an internal group who might be using a particular asset or sales process and ensuring that it really does fit into the day-to-day of their work, or an external group who might benefit from some of your work and making sure that what you're building really gels with them. And then I think, the third bit is sort of having the perseverance and gumption to really wade into an ambiguous situation or a tangled mess or a tangled ball of yarn and help to unpack it. So, sort of being unafraid of doing a really wide range of work and, trying things that might be new to you, or being humble enough to seek subject matter experts when it makes sense to make sure that things are executed upon in a timely fashion. So what this can then look like in the day-to-day is everything from, being a product manager, so to speak, and guiding an engineering team through launching a solution and keeping a variety of business metrics in mind as you design your product and see if it's profitable, all the way through, working in a people operations or HR function and ensuring that every step of a recruiting process, for example, is designed to be efficient, is designed to provide the right experience, is designed to provide all the stakeholders involved with what they need, whether that's the recruiter or the candidate or another function of HR. So what's really great about this role is it can express itself in a number of ways. And really what you're doing is partnering with the key stakeholders and leaders, across the teams that might be invested in a business problem and facilitating the success of achieving a particular goal.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much, Anise. So, apart from this, what is a typical day like a program manager?
Yeah, so at least for me specifically, there's no such thing as a typical day. And that's actually one of the things that I love about program management. I don't do very well when I'm bored, and program management definitely keeps me on my toes. So my days can look anything like, creating a training video to highlight a particular process we're launching or highlight best practices or make sure that new hires or transfers into a role really understand, how to get a particular job or function or process done. Sometimes it can include creating meetings to compose either pre or post-mortems, depending upon what stage of a business problem you find yourself in. Sometimes it can mean doing discovery and diligence work to really understand a problem. So uncovering all of the data sources and insights that could be relevant and help you better figure out how you'd like to proceed forward. Sometimes this means working in a fire drill capacity should something arise that you weren't really anticipating and folding that back into your project plan. So it can be a really broad range of assignments and pieces of work. And I think this is where, one, you get to flex a really broad range of your own skills. You get to grow a really broad range of skills that you might be interested in investing more in. And it's also a really humbling experience because there are sometimes going to be opportunities where it makes more sense to loop in a subject matter expert to get the job done, and really feeling comfortable reaching out for help and involving the right people to kind of side by side build things with you as you move along.
Most fun part of your job?
I think for me, the most fun and rewarding part of my job is when you're able to do effective change management. So a huge component of program management is also making sure that whatever changes occur as a result of your efforts, that they're done so in a way that is thoughtful, that aligns with the day-to-day of the folks involved, that feels as seamless as possible and doesn't leave anyone kind of lingering in the dark, right? It makes it as clear and structured as possible, communicating the why and the how. And it's something that's so difficult to do, but when you get it right, nothing feels better because you played a critical role in so many of your peers and potentially so many of your friends and so many of your colleagues really having a better experience at work. So it's, for me at least, I see program management as a really beautiful way of combining, an appreciation for the people around you and an appreciation and excitement for the business goals of your organization, marrying those two things and really being able to execute upon it.